Hi, I'm Karen Foster,
And I'm Michael Foster. We're with Remax of Greensboro and Foster Home Services.
and we're here with Carol Lawless with Sandhill Fine Gardening. And Carol is going to talk to us today about plantings for the fall, gardening, and your yard and how to take care of it. But Carol, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, Sandhill Fine Gardening came from Sandhill Cemetery Road in southern Ohio, where I own some property. I just brought the name down with me because everybody's like, "Are you from the Sandhills?" I'm like, no. But it's a fond memory of ecological living that I'm very fond of. I started in 2004, and I've been in business ever since. Word of mouth. I haven't advertised very much, and I love what I do.
Okay. And tell us a little bit about what you're doing, you want to talk about today, preparing your yard and gardens for the fall. What are some tips?
Getting the lawn and garden ready for fall. There's a lot to go over there. The lawn, it's time to aerate, seed, fertilize, and lime. We're not getting a lot of water from the sky right now, so we need to help Mother Nature along with some extra hand watering, irrigation. We're running extra irrigation right now. That's a vital, important part of getting the lawn in shape. Also, it's time to plant trees and shrubs. Trees help the birds and the bees and the planet, and I'm very interested in that part of how Sandhill Fine Gardening does the work. The fall color, mums, pansies, violas. It's time to plant shrubs as well. Roses, foundation shrubs, shrubs for color. Things get established over the winter time. They get a little more extra rain over the winter, and if we have snow, the snow melts into rain, and they're a little more established before it comes into the spring.
Okay.
We can plant here year round. The ground doesn't freeze, so we can continue to plant. Prefer to plant as soon as the temperature changes, it becomes fall, and there's not as much stress on the plants from the summer.
Okay.
And out of all those things you mentioned, what is the one thing you want to sort of focus on today and help our viewers get a good idea of what they should be doing for their fall and winter season?
Today we're going to talk about the lawn and how to prepare for lawn. A lot of times the first thing we do is thatch, and that is if the lawn has suffered a little bit during the summer, died back a little bit, and some of that dead grass has matted itself in the bottom of the lawn.
Okay.
And so we use a dethatching equipment and run it across. It rakes up all that dead grass. We get it up off the lawn, and in the areas where it's been removed, the soil is exposed so that the seed and lime and fertilizer can make its way into the soil.
So you seed, line, and fertilize all at the same time.
All at the same time, and
Okay.
and aeration as well. So all of that, once you dethatch, and that's not necessarily something you do all at the same time. That's a lot of equipment you can, but usually we thatch early and then come back and do the aeration, seed, and fertilize, and lime. So the aeration is best done when the ground is a little moist. And we've had a little struggle with that lately, except for
yeah.
folks who have irrigation.
Yeah.
The lime, seed, and fertilizer as well. So right now it's been a little hard because we haven't had any rain, but the temperature's getting ready to change, and hopefully we can get some rain in the next few weeks. We need lime in this area because the ground is clay, and what the lime does is it takes up in the soil and allows the fertilizer to break down in the soil a lot easier. A lot of lawns, when they're first built houses, they scrape off all that good soil that's there, that all plants and grass and everything would love to have, and it just leaves that bare clay. Or they turn it over and bring the stuff from the house and put it out on the lawn. That's not growing media. That is why we have to continue to seed, aerate, lime, and fertilize because of that reason.
Now, Carol, not everybody has the same kind of grass. So is the process the same for the various different types of grass I might have on their yard?
The process is not the same. The grass you see here is zoysia grass, and it is a summer grass, and you're seeing its last of its glory. Next week, when we get into 70 and 60 degrees, it's going to start to fade, and it'll be brown all year.
Okay.
It's pretty low maintenance. It does need to be fertilized. It never needs to be seeded. It's put in from plugs, and this was actually sod, and it's also, we can talk about that too. This is a perfect time to be rolling out sod, whether it's zoysia or fescue, either one of those. It's perfect time to get it out so it can get its feet established before the next summer and stress comes along. On down this way, we have tall fescue, which is the most common type around here. It's a cool season grass, so it struggles in the summer, which is the opposite of the zoysia that you see here. So, I don't know if you can see the difference in this grass. You cut the zoysia shorter than you cut fescue. Fescue is 3.5 to 4 inches. If anybody's cutting grass shorter than that, you're doing damage, you're causing stress, and then you're gonna have weeds, and then you're gonna have, a plethora of problems. And that's something else we didn't talk about is the summertime weeds. And so August, before you get ready to aerate, seed, and fertilize, you want to kill those weeds. Pull them, spray them. You want those weeds and out of there so that the grass seed can grab a hold and grow up. And the fertilizer can take the existing grass and allow it to regenerate itself.
Okay.
So this is the fescue and this is the zoysia. The fescue is what I'm talking about, the aeration, seed, and fertilize, and lime.
Okay.
The zoysia does not need that at this time. It gets a late spring, early summer fertilization if it needs it. We haven't done anything to this in 2 years.
Okay. But it stays green most of the year except in the winter.
Wintertime,
When it goes dormant.
wintertime, this will turn all the way brown. This fescue will stay green unless we start to have a hard freeze. It might get a little, brown on the tips, and it won't grow as much. The perfect growing temperature is 60 to 80 degrees for the fescue. It loves the cool. It's the cool season grass, and we're right here in the middle between hot and cool here in Greensboro. So both of these grasses survive in these conditions.
Well, good. Carol, so there's a lot of lawn and yard services around town. How do you know we're calling the right professional to do the job so that it turns out the way we all want it to turn out?
Okay, there's two things you can do here. Is as I said before, lime is vitally important around here. And if somebody is saying they're going to aerate, seed, and fertilize, they should also be liming unless they have done a soil test and they can say, well, your lawn does not require that. The second thing you can do is ask them about the numbers on the fertilizer bag. The 3 numbers on the fertilizer bag should be, they should answer nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. If your lawn professional doesn't know what those are, then you need to call someone else.
Great tip. Thank you
That's
for that,
good.
Carol.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Well, I appreciate it, Carol. I know a lot of you, I hope you got some good tips from Carol. There's good things to do for yourself and also hire a professional. Some of the tips that Carol gave us, I'm sure there's a lot more of reasons why to hire a professional. So if you'd like her name, we've got that in our comments here. And just thank you for listening, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.
Bye-bye.